When it came time for David to kill Goliath, it wasn't a combat fight where David's getting all bruised up. He takes just one rock and he knocks him out completely. When it was David's timing to finally step into his position of king, God suddenly brought hundreds of thousands of people to fight for him, to lead him to be king. Once it was time for Joseph to be second highest position in the land, there was no fight. There was no Potiphar coming, wait a second, no! When it was God's timing, it came with ease. What the devil hates more than anything is the anointing. The most severe persecution comes towards the most anointed ones, because those are the ones the devil tries to stop the most. Those are the ones most dangerous to him, to his kingdom. It is only the anointing that destroys the yoke. This is like Joseph. Potiphar's wife falsely accused him. Potiphar, the husband, believed the false accusation and threw Joseph in prison. At that point, the people who knew Joseph, they are seeing him wrongly. There is mud thrown on him. They're seeing him in the wrong lens because of this woman's evil words. Then came God's perfect timing of where God's will had to be done in Joseph's life. God's perfect timing of where the promise that God made Joseph had to be fulfilled. The time came where Joseph needed to be at the highest position in all of Egypt besides Pharaoh. And what did God do? He made his anointing move so powerfully through Joseph, interpreting several people's dreams, where it came to the point that even Pharaoh heard about this guy in the prison who was so anointed. The anointing was moving so powerfully through Joseph that it could be seen when mud was all over him in the pit of the prison. The anointing upon Joseph was so powerful that it was not just seen by the people in the prison, by the guards, by just the commoners, but the anointing was seen by the highest level of influence and power man in the land. It was God's doing. It was God's timing for the truth to be seen. It was God's timing for the mud to be cleaned off of Joseph. It was God's timing for the promise to be fulfilled in Joseph's life. What about that powerful accusation that put him in prison? Where is that now? It's gone. The people can clearly see the truth, that false accusation was false, and that God was with Joseph and he was a pure, anointed servant of God. This takes place when it's God's timing. When it's God's perfect timing, he makes it overwhelmingly obvious that God is with you, that this is God.